from a different star, flying over streets and our broken hearts. But they can't even touch us, we found a different beat. Paradise is waiting and we bought the lead. Oh, getting caught in the mist, there's so many that never get out of. They're feeding the fears and the doubts.
Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. This weekend's video is all about dressage. So if you're fairly new to this channel, you may or may not know that Mega and I are very new to this dressage game. We've only probably been doing it about a year, so I'm definitely still learning. So is Mega. There's lots of room for improvement. So I like to try and get out to training sessions or shows where there's no real pressure whenever we possibly can. So this weekend was a very spontaneous decision to enter a show at Bury Farm. There is a British dressage show there on Sunday. They have got some prelim winter qualifier classes, and there is also a prelim music class, which is very rare. You don't normally get those at Bury Farm or on a Sunday. So when in Rome, I thought the opportunity had to be taken. Then, just by chance, my dressage trainer, Daisy, sent me a message earlier this week to say that she was going to be giving somebody else a lesson at a venue that we normally train at. Did I want to come over and also have a lesson? So, with that, we are off to a lesson with Daisy Coakley on this Saturday, very blustery day. So I really cannot emphasise enough that probably 12 months ago, I don't think I'd even had a dressage lesson of any kind. So a lot of my training sessions with Daisy do actually focus on me and what I'm doing. So at the beginning of this session, we were thinking about my hands. So you can see I've got a tendency to straighten my elbows and drop my hands, and I need to bring them up and help Mega by having that more of a consistent contact. And I also twist my body as well. So that's what we were doing here. I also need to not be afraid to push Mega forwards down into that contact, rather than just using my hands and trying to play with her mouth to get her into an outline. Actually use my legs to push her into that contact and actually get her working properly through and over her back. So here Daisy was getting me to carry my inside hand higher, which it literally felt to me like it was under my boob, but clearly here it doesn't look like it is, and my outside hand lower, almost touching the saddle or her saddle cloth, and that is to create that more consistent contact through the outside rein so that she does work into that contact through and properly. We then started to work on our transitions. Mega can get quite tense into the transition, and so we introduced some sitting trot just to ease her into that, and also some walk to halt transitions as she can hollow and tense into the halt as well.
I'm sure I've mentioned on my channel before that Mega can be a bit of a naughty so-and-so, excuse the pun, and anticipate when you're going to ask her to halt. So what we were doing here was slowing the walk right down and giving her so much to think about that she didn't know what you were going to be asking her to do next, to really improve on getting that final halt that you really want. We then took it up into the canter. Now I am so pleased with the improvement in her canter recently. Here we were just working on keeping her outside shoulder from drifting out. That is literally all we need to do now because it's come on absolutely leaps and bounds. I am so pleased with how she looks here. We're now probably midway through the session and I'm sure you guys will agree, you can see the difference in her trot now versus at the beginning of the session. She's just loosened up, look at the ears starting to flop. That's the real telltale sign with Mega. And then we finished the session with some lovely stretchy trot. Doesn't she look fab?
So I'm back from my lesson with Daisy. As you will see, Miss Mega is now turned out, enjoying some field time for a couple of hours before we start the getting ready process for tomorrow's show. Now, today's lesson I thought went really well. It really helped me refocus and remember some of the things that are really key when I'm riding. I get into a real bad habit of just fiddling with Mega's head and concentrating on what her head's doing in her outline, when actually I need to ride much more with my legs. So yeah, big thumbs up for me, lots to learn, and I'm sure you'll agree by the end, she looked absolutely fabulous. My little mud monster has come to say hello. Poe has appeared on one vlog on this channel, which was Meet the Horses. So if you are not familiar with this very muddy wannabe bay pony, oh, hello, then make sure you go and check out my Meet the Horses vlog to find out some more information about Poe. I'm really trying to hide from the wind, but failing pretty badly. So I will catch up with you guys later when I'm getting Mega show ready. So it's some hours later, but it's now raining as well as being windy. Asking for a friend. How do you bath in the wind and the rain? Wish me luck. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, and I actually feel quite refreshed. The clocks went back an hour last night, so what should have been a 6:30 in the morning start was actually, in real terms, 7:30. So it didn't feel too painful. Now to feed the beast, roll up her plats and get going. Our first test is at 9:30, followed by our second test at 10:20. God, a pink face mask.
Now, if you are avid Adventures of Megatron vlog watchers, you will definitely have seen the Dressage to Music floor plan of ours a couple of times now. So, to mix it up, I thought I would do a voiceover this time.
Is that loud enough?
Yeah, I think she can hear it. Thank you.
So it didn't kick off with the greatest of starts. You will have just heard the steward checked with my mum whether the music was loud enough, and it really wasn't. It was quite quiet. With our first halt there, you will have seen that Mega didn't actually put her right hind down properly, so we only scored a 6.5 for our first halt. And then with Dressage to Music, you're marked only on your specific compulsory movements. So our next compulsory movement in our floor plan is the 20-metre circle in trot on the right rein. So for this, we scored a 7.5, which I actually agree. I do think she looks very nice. I do remember thinking as we went round that she just felt very heavy with her head and quite fixed on my contact. There wasn't that loose suppleness that I normally like to have her feeling. So throughout, I think that's why I feel like I look like I'm tipping on my shoulders and I look like I'm leaning forwards. She just felt very, against my hands during this whole test. So the next compulsory movement in our floor plan is a stretchy trot circle, which we scored a 6.5 for, with a comment saying show further stretching, which I agree, she can definitely stretch more than that. Now, if you are familiar with Mega and I's floor plan for our Dressage to Music, you will have realised that we are a little behind the music, and throughout the whole test I just couldn't catch up, which I think has ultimately what has affected some of our scores for our transitions, because I was just rushing her and ushering her along to try and get her to catch up with the music. Here we are doing our working trot left 20-metre circle, and the comment was relaxation, and we scored a 7 for this. And I think, again, the judge probably just picked up on the fact that she was being a bit resistant to my contact. Here I am massively behind the music, and I remember at this point just thinking, you need to get up the other end because you're going to miss the canter transition, and that's going to be glaringly obvious. You guys will see. Oh, and then because I'm rushing her, she trips. And yep, I was right, we were late for our canter transition, and she stuck her head up in the air because I rushed her into it. And then we do our 20-metre circle in canter on the left rein, which she scored a 7.5 for. So I did actually manage to recover it. I cannot emphasise enough how much this horse's canter has improved. Even in the last month, it's ridiculous. But again, across the middle there, I just rushed her through it. So it's really affected our mark for our transitions because I'm just pushing her far too quickly to try and catch up with the music. Here we do our canter circle 20 metres on the right rein. There was a little bit more tension on this one, so the judge has put relaxation again, and we scored a 6.5, which I think is fair. By some miracle, I managed to catch us up to the music by pushing a canter on a little bit. So we're now back in time, I think, roughly. So we then transition down to trot and then eventually down to walk. So across an average of our transitions, we got anything from a 7 to a 6.5. So overall, we ended up with a mark of 6.5 for fluency of transitions, mentioning relaxation and balance, which I think is absolutely fair. Here we're doing our medium walk, which we scored a 7 for. She normally does track up quite nicely, which means we do normally get quite good marks, but she's just mentioned relax the frame because, yeah, she did chuck her head up and tense a little bit there. Here we now go into our free walk on a long rein. The judge has actually underlined the words long rein on my test sheet and mentioned keep the contact, your reins are loose at times, which I absolutely agree with. Daisy actually mentioned this in my lesson the day before, that I tend to just drop the reins rather than make her take it down. We did still score a 7 for that though. And then on to our final halt, which we scored a 7 for.
All finished. Here with the Trollinator. So the first test I didn't think was very good, but I haven't watched the videos back yet, so you guys know what happens. I watch the videos, then I go, actually it wasn't that bad, but it felt horrendous. She just felt so against me. I don't know whether I was really tight and locked my shoulders, which I sometimes have a habit of doing, and therefore she was just fighting me. I don't know, but the dressage to music was definitely not our best. Thankfully though, we were the only ones in the class, so we won regardless.
On to our second test, which is the prelim 17A. I remember coming down this centre line and thinking, oh God, it's wobbly and all over the place. And the judge definitely spotted that, gave us a 6 and put not always straight and more suppleness needed, C to M. Then we change the rein RXV in working trot and then continue VKA, which we got a 6.5 for. At A, you circle left 20 metres and we scored a 6.5 for that, with comments of could be more secure to contact. So continuing in the same sort of vein that I was saying with our earlier test, although this is much better in my opinion. You then repeat the same on the other rein, so you change the rein PXS and then continue working trot SHC, which we scored a 7 for. At C, circle right 20 metres in diameter, scoring a 7 for this again. Really nice. I think she looks a lot more consistent here and I'm much happier with my body position as well. Between C and M, transition to working canter right, we got a 6.5 for this, and then along the long side she just commented losing quarters where they were turning in slightly. Then at B, circle right 20 metres in diameter, we scored a 6.5 with a comment of little on the forehand. Between P and F, half circle right 20 metres, returning to the track between K and V, we scored a 6.5. You then change the rein. After X, you come to trot, which we got a 7 for. Between C and H, transition to working canter left, we scored a 7 for this, and I think her canter looks really nice. Repeating again, circle left 20 metres at E, we again got a 7. Very pleased with this canter work. Between V and K, half circle left 20 metres, returning to the track between F and P, we scored a 6.5. And then change the rein. After X, transition to working trot, we scored a 6.5 with a comment of more balance to trot, which I agree, she just rushed and hurried that transition. We pulled it back though. Between H and C transitioned to medium walk and we scored another 7. CMR continue with medium walk. I think we've got this medium walk nailed. Got another 7. R to K changed the rein in a free walk on a long rein. We scored 6.5 with the judge underlining the words purpose and stretching forwards and down. So again, similar to our dressage to music test. K to A returned to medium walk, and then at A turned down the centre line. And then at D, transition to working trot and proceed down the centre line. We scored a 7. Between I and G, progressively transition through walk to halt, immobility and salute. We scored a 6.5 with a comment more balanced to halt.
She felt so much better. I was in the warm-up, Mum kept giving me tips, trying to make her work just 10% more in the warm-up so that then when we get in the arena she feels like it's easy and just mills around. I made a conscious effort to just roll my shoulders, relax, and that seemed to work a bit of a treat because it felt loads better, just much more consistent. Yeah, I was just overall so much more pleased with that. So hopefully the results reflect that. I shall keep you posted. So I've just seen our dressage to music result online. We got 69.72%. Not too shabby considering I thought it was awful. Standard Lauren. And our result for the prelim 17A is 66.89%, which puts us in second. Taking home some prize money. Can't be complaining about that, can we?
Well done, Miss Maggie. Lots of snacks and for you. She's double hay netting at the moment. One is not sufficient.
Also, clip is pending. Look at that floof. Good girl. Considering how grim it was yesterday, it's actually shaped up to be a very nice day. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed my weekend of dressage. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you for another video very soon.